All right. Morning, everyone. Let's get going here. All right. Last night's session, the States had a nice little bounce off of a little bit of correction that we had the day before. We had commodities that rallied quite a bit on the day, actually, or commodity stocks, I should say. But commodities, physical commodities, gave up a little bit of the gains on the day that they had made the day before. So I think the share price gains are a little bit of a bounce off of the previous day's gains, but yeah, I think we talked about capitulation, and we said, was this capitulation and that sort of thing. But a capitulation move in any index or commodity or stock or anything like that isn't typically followed by this sort of move. The moves, we did have big reversals off of the lows, but there hasn't been a follow. There wasn't really a second day proper follow through or conviction, or there was no follow through in the physicals. So I think that's something that we've got to watch going forward. I mean, it started to look a little bit like a dead cat bounce yesterday afternoon. Potentially with downside to come. If you look at the Dow making a fresh record closing high, I think S&P also right up there as well. We just continue to make pushes toward new highs. When you look at it, I mean, we're up about 250 points off of the lows on the S&P since in the last 6.5 weeks. So that's what I like to call spectacular. So just keep that in mind. I mean, we're very, very heavily overbought at the moment. So that's, I think, still here. It's still something to watch out for. All right. This morning, Asia traded well, except for the Hang Seng. Hang Seng continues to kind of decouple from the rest of the market. Not sure if it's simply because of the riots and that sort of thing that's going on there, but yeah, wasn't able to hang in there with the rest of the Asian markets. Other than that, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of leadership there in Asia. We do have the Nikkei trading up again, probably on the yen making fresh lows. We're in the 119 handle now against the dollar. Dollar had a big rally at the end of the day yesterday, pretty much against the entire basket of currencies. So that's kind of gave it the next little push there. All right, if we get into the chart of interest for today here, Sub-Saharan Africa continues to show GDP growth outperformance relative to the rest of the world, and you can see they're really expected to do so again this year. So, if you, I don't think it's obviously South Africa hasn't really been the driving force there, but you throw the rest of Africa in, growing quite quickly. All right, no corporate action to report today. In terms of market data, we had the services PMI numbers out of Japan and out of China, both beats. Japan and a very nice beat. We have the same services PMI numbers coming out across the entire Eurozone and in the States. We've got retail sales out in the Eurozone today at 12. And then we've got mortgage apps, ADP employment change, ISM, and the beige book today out all in the States. So not a probably massive set of numbers, but a lot of data today to pay attention to nonetheless. Like we said, guys, I think it's important to just take note of what time period we are in the year, what we're looking at in terms of. We will start to see the volumes start to die down here pretty soon. And, like we said, if we don't really get a correction somewhat soon, then we're probably going to see us drift into the new year. All right, let's get into the maps. Not a lot of incredible stuff to look at this morning. One of the most important charts that I think I can show is this one, and this is the German DAX. So yesterday, you can see that little wick there above that set of consolidation. We got up and we tested on the number early in the morning. We tested at 1025. We got right up to 1025 on that wick yesterday. I've drawn that line just a touch high. 1025, 1030, wherever that level is, but it's right around there. And that's going to be a massive level for us to focus on. Obviously, if we break out through that, this thing's could have some massive legs. If it doesn't, then we could have a real significant pullback off this level. So just watch it really closely. It could be a big move from there. We showed Old Mutual yesterday. I just want to zoom in a little bit on this. When we talked about if it holds up above 34, this thing could be looking a little bit like an inverse head and shoulder. But it's either way, it's starting to make a bit of a bull flag here as well in terms of this last little run up here. And I actually think let's draw this properly here. I mean, I actually think that you're going to be looking up closer to 35 for a breakout, somewhere between 35 and 35.10 on a breakout, and this thing will have more room to run to the upside. If you look at MediClinic, after making the breakout here on, from this little broadening formation, we've got it really making a descending triangle formation down into that same sort of level. So I think there's a big move coming here in MediClinic on a breakout one way or another. And the last one that I'm going to show is Anglo Gold. Gold's actually quite disappointing yesterday after we had gotten through 1200, only to really fail it yesterday. Didn't trade well in the States. If you factor in the U.S. price, actually closed lower than this. So we kind of right back below what I think would be support on this bear flag, and I think that this is still in play. I still think that we can come down and take out the lows. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.